Hi, welcome to the first of our Diva interview series. Kay, Sarah, and I have decided that we would like to interview women who are already shining on the internet. And I have a lovely lady here today. I'm really, really excited and happy to have Christina here. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Carly. Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here and to be considered a diva.
You,
It's very exciting.
you are a true diva. I'll just give you an idea of how I met Christina. We haven't actually physically met. I saw one of Christina's videos through a friend's profile and I was curious, so I watched the first one, and it was a series called The 30 Days of Genius, which I thought was a brilliant thing. And I'd heard about the book, so I decided to watch Christina each day as she documented living in her genius. And I was absolutely amazed at her energy and how warm and brilliant she is. So I followed her, which took me to her blog. And when I got there, I was amazed at the photography and this, everything about what Christina does. Sorry. So I'd like to give a massive warm welcome to Christina Morassi.
Thank you, Carly. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So how are you today, Christina?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be talking to someone over on your side of the world. I'm in Los Angeles myself, and as we were talking about earlier, I'm coming over to the UK very soon. So it feels quite serendipitous to be talking to someone over there right now. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm really happy to have you here. So, do you
Hmm.
mind sort of just giving a little bit more in depth about your journey and where you are at the moment in your life, and just tell people a little bit more about you?
Sure, I would love to. Well, basically, my career began as a fashion photographer in New York City, where I worked on high-level fashion shoots, mostly as a photographer's assistant, and then building my own portfolio, but on very high-level fashion shoots with the likes of, supermodels like Giselle and Heidi Klum and Paris Hilton and things like that.
What?
And then actually, yes, a death in the family sort of altered the course of my career, and I started to question maybe the vanity a little bit of the fashion photography world. So I needed a change, and then I moved to Los Angeles, and I actually got into the healing arts, and I studied something called craniosacral therapy and polarity therapy and shamanic work, and it was a lot of energy work. And so I fell in love with how creative it was to assist people with their healing and to also learn more about energy. And then the next piece was that I found the expressive arts. I found ecstatic dance and for like performance art, improv, and writing. And so I started to combine my healing work with the expressive arts and would create these very sacred ritual spaces where we would do transformation work, but all through play and theatrical kind of exploration. And then finally, I really wanted to look at all the pieces that I had. I had let go of the photography for about 10 years. And I started working with a business coach, and I really wanted to find a way to integrate everything. And so what we came up with was that I could combine the transformation work with the photography and help women entrepreneurs step into and embody the heart and soul of their brand. So it's been a really wonderful journey. I launched my business back in December, and part of the growing process was really wanting to find my way of doing business. I was quite new to the entrepreneurial worlds, and having come from a healing background, really wanted to make sure I was doing it in a way that felt in integrity and in alignment. And so one of the projects I started was this 30 Days of Genius that you saw. And it was based on a book by Gay Hendricks called The Big Leap. And it really was about inviting everyone to live into their genius. And I committed to that too for 30 days and made a video a day. And actually, all of those videos are still on my blog. So that was an incredible adventure back in March. And then since then, I started that really supported me somehow in stepping into my own brand of really combining transformation work and the photography. And so it's been a lovely journey since then. I've gotten to work with all these wonderful women entrepreneurs And what I've called it, this offer, is Star in Your Own Stock Photos. Basically, because so many of us, when we're creating our websites and our sales pages and our newsletters, we go to get stock photos to maybe convey a woman feeling excited or a woman on her computer. And so the idea was, what would it be like if we were actually the ones in the photographs? And how would this help increase our know, like, and trust factor with clients? And so really it's been this glorious ride. And I've been getting busier and busier. And then actually I get to come over to the UK next week to work with some women entrepreneurs there. So it's a
Wow.
nice little journey to explain. So thank you for asking.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing. And it's lovely that you get to do the transformational work with the photography because obviously, if you already had the photography in you, but you didn't feel that you were using it in the way that you wanted to, and now you've actually combined the two together, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's very different, and thank you for pointing that out. I wasn't satisfied with how had learned how to do photography. I really needed to learn how to do it in a different way, and it took me a while to figure that out. But yes, now I basically set up shoots like as if I were doing a one-on-one healing session with someone. So there is, I set up some sacred space. We may do some meditation. We do some movement. So it's been really lovely to combine it all together. And what's fun is I think you can tell that from the pictures too. So it's been very rewarding to experiment with all of this.
Yeah, I mean, the pictures are absolutely amazing. Like, obviously, I will give your website details at the end so people can go and have a look at your work and just see how amazing it is. But
Thank you.
I just want to go back to a little bit about the 30 Days of Genius because obviously that's how I found you. And
Mm.
was that your first encounter with promoting yourself on the internet, like using social media?
Well, that's a great question. I think in such a structured way, yes. I had launched my business in December, and then the 30 Days of Genius was in March. So I was, certainly connecting with people. When I first launched my site, I was promoting a 2-day intensive. That was the first day was all about transformation work, and the second day was about photography. So I was promoting that. However, I really enjoyed creating a 30-day container for myself that was really about platform building. That was my intention, was to do something creative, use my creative juices, find a new way of building business. And I like the whole notion of platform building, putting content out there and creating a following. So I think in a structured and focused way, yes, I use social media in a very particular way for that project.
Oh, that's brilliant. So, was there anything in particular that you learned about yourself?
Oh, so many things. Oh my goodness. It was an incredible learning experience on lots of levels. The first piece that is astonishing to me is if you start to watch the videos on day one, when you watch day 30, I have grown and changed drastically.
Yes.
So that was interesting because I really didn't quite know what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to share content from the book, and also really make sure I was living in my genius too. And I love to be creative, and as I mentioned, have that theatrical improv part of myself. And I also like to be a big goofball because I think that's when more of our true essence comes through when we're not trying to be good little boys and girls. So uh, I, I learned that about myself, that I could get stranger and stranger as the 30 days went on. And, I think because it was a gradual process, I was more comfortable with that. Although I will tell you, when I go back and watch some of the later ones now, I do cringe slightly, because I really went out on a limb. But I'm also proud of myself that I did that. So
Yes.
that was one piece. And then also, I was making a video a day. So I was posting them every day on Facebook. I also had people who had opted into a newsletter list so that they got them by newsletter every day in their inbox. And, I got over that fear probably of posting too much. That we can all probably deal with, of like, oh my God, do they want to hear from me again? Am I annoying people? And, for the most part, I think people really enjoyed them. And of course, they could decide whether to watch them or not. And so that was a big learning experience of, there is something powerful about continuing to broadcast ourselves and being okay with that. So those were two big pieces of learning.